Welcome back to the Tailosive EV podcast, ladies and gentlemen. I am once again joined by Nick and Randy. Thanks for coming on. We appreciate it, you guys.
I think it's the other way around. I mean, you and I, Drew, are both guests to Randy's EV podcast because Randy is the one with a Tesla. So,
but you have 3 Cybertruck orders, which are all going through.
No,
and I have reserved nothing. So, you guys are more.
But on the spectrum of
official.
Who's ready to buy a Tesla, I think you are further along than I am, Drew. So.
Statistically,
okay,
I already passed that mark, so I have ascended
like,
to.
Are you ready to buy a
second.
second Tesla, Randy? Can you buy a second one right now?
Card hold. Wow. Hard, cold, cash. If it's a base model, actually no, that's not true. I could buy cash a long range Model 3 right now.
That's so Randy
good.
wins twice.
Yeah,
in a row.
Randy wins twice here. This is his show. So thanks for having us on, Randy.
Oh, you're
Good to
welcome.
be here.
And now that I have these plebes here to entertain and boost my ego of my Model 3, guys, yesterday was my 1 year or 2. I hit my 1 year.
Yay!
Congratulations.
Good job, Randy.
Has it been the best year of your life?
It has no. It's been far from best in my life. But when it comes to automation, mobility, and technology in a single entity, I am in the future, and you guys must catch up because
we are in the past.
I lost my premium connectivity. Haven't even noticed it. You guys told me to try
Oh, did you try the
Yeah.
hotspot?
Yeah.
I'm not talking about it because I'm making a single video about it first.
No.
Well, you just got to post it before this podcast gets posted.
That's
True.
because I haven't filmed it yet.
Okay. Well, what are you doing
You
here,
got to get
Randy?
cracking.
Gotta
get cracking.
I'm making a list. I mean, I guess you guys can help me. So this is at time of recording. It has not been filmed yet, but I'm making a list of all the things I kind of want to run through to knock
Okay.
off. Like, okay, hotspot. Can I go to a .com? Can I load the theater mode? Can I turn on I don't know, satellite or something?
Karaoke. That's all that matters.
No, my goodness. Carpool karaoke. That I've never used that feature. I tried it once, and it uses the bad version of karaoke songs. Like, it doesn't use instrumentals. It uses that, if you want to play Journey, instead of da na 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 na, it's like do 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 do. Oh, it's so tacky. It sounds like from the late 80s. I don't want anything to do with this song. So, no. Karaoke is... I forgot that was a thing until you guys talk about it, to be honest. Does Spotify work?
That's my favorite feature.
I want to see, does Apple Beta work? The Apple Music Beta. Does that work yet? Because it did work.
I thought we did test that last year.
It works at park. It does not work when you're moving. I want to know,
Right.
does it work when you drive?
Mm-hmm.
So... just little things. I have like a list and stuff like that. If you think of anything else I need to try, I'll put it in my test.
So, Randy.
That's it. It's a yes or no.
No.
Yes.
The hotspot. Okay, it works. Thank you.
Oh, okay.
Thank
No.
you.
No.
Have an
That's what
answer.
we're talking about.
No. I don't know. I haven't tried it yet.
So no.
Come on.
So your answer is no, Randy. I cannot.
No, I'm saying yes. It's going to work, but I don't know.
So this is another video I'd love to see from the Tesla experience. How much have you spent, real dollars, no estimations, on this car over the last year?
That's going to be in the final one year review.
Okay.
That's already there.
Because you used your 1,000 miles of supercharging yet? Or
No.
are you still... No. So you haven't paid for supercharging yet. So...
How many supercharging miles do you have so far?
I would look, but I'm using it as a video on my phone, and it's the only way I can take it.
Oh, okay. You don't even memorize that thing?
No, because I use it so little. In fact, I've actually paid for a tier 2 charger. I've paid $4 for a tier 2 charger before I've ever paid supercharging, and that's because I didn't know it was going to charge me. But it
How did it charge you without you knowing?
Because it did ask for my credit card when I scan it. It does the wireless scan like Apple Pay or so. But it told me the first 4 hours were free. I was like, oh, yeah, 4 hours. I'll be here like an hour tops. And when I came back after an hour, it said $4 was charged. I was like, what? So
Oh, well, that sucks.
yeah,
That's cheap.
I'm beginning to think that if you had a membership with that plug network, maybe, or something. I haven't really done much research because I'm like, I'll never do this again. Yeah, right. So
Yeah, stay away from that charger.
yeah,
Jeez.
it charges
heck?
the same rate as one of the free ones does, like Volta. So I was
Oh,
like, this
wow.
is ridiculous. I would never come back to this.
Hey, how do those free ones make money? Do they like just have advertisements on them or something? Like I hear people say, "Oh yeah, just go to the free chargers," and I'm like,
They
a good
don't.
question.
They don't make money right now.
okay.
Oh, are they planning on making money later? Is that the idea?
It's owned by Nissan, so
Mm-hmm.
Volta it's I guess they get their funding by Nissan, and it uses advertising for like the Leaf and stuff like that. So in that sense, like if it's all coming from the same pot of money, I can see it being one of those things where we're technically still making a profit, but if you looked at it as a singularity, it's free. It's just one of those things because it's so early right now, and I don't expect it to be free maybe a year and a half from now, like beginning of 2022.
Oh, okay.
At some point they will start charging for it, but right now it's still like early adopter.
Charging for charging.
Charging for charging. And it has its perks. Sometimes the charger doesn't work. It gets like faulty in the sense that it just it doesn't read it. And other times there's
That's a nice perk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. So I've had my car sit for like 2 hours and it was still not charging. But I'll check the app and they'll be like ready to charge. I'm like, oh my goodness. So then I'll click it and then it starts up. But
Have you had to use a lot of third-party chargers?
I almost exclusively use third-party chargers when the situation arises for it. So
Do you have to have like plug adapters, or do they all have a Tesla?
No, when you
Charger
buy
on
your Tesla, it comes with the adapter. So
you have to like get out an adapter. You have to get a dongle out of your trunk.
It comes with it.
No,
CCS, right?
No. So the plug itself, if this is the your adapter for it, I know. What can you do? Demo. So
Okay.
if this is your plug for it, it hooks to the top and then you plug it in. So
Is that a CCS adapter? Is that what it's called?
Oh, I have no idea.
Combined charging standard. That's what I thought it was.
Maybe
But
because
I could be wrong.
there's only
I've
one.
heard that's
There's the Tesla charger, and then there's all others the same. It's like Lightning and USB.
I believe it's CCS. Yeah. That's what most other car companies have been using is the combined charging standard, unless there's some other one I don't know about. But I don't even drive an EV. Even
So
track.
Randy has the experience, Drew has the head knowledge, and I have the passion. So between the
There
three
you
of
go.
us, we make one Tesla sheep.
All combined, we make one very smart Tesla fan.
I would say definitely Tesla over EV, just because like nothing's close to the competition. When I see these little dinky pieces of plastic on the road, and I'm like, from their house to the charging station, they already went through half their battery. I'm like, you guys would not survive in an apocalypse or some dire. We got to leave the city. Like you're gonna not even make it out the county, where I'll be.
That's why we talk. Yeah. That's why we talk so much about Teslas, because they're kind of dominating the EV space. There's more stuff going on with them than pretty much anyone else, because it wouldn't, I think, sometimes I get that comment, like, if you're called Tailosive EV, why not talk about other EVs, or why not just call it Tailosive Tesla if all you want to talk about is Tesla, which it's not true that we want to exclusively talk about Tesla, because we're interested to see what other EVs can do, but only if they can do something impressive. And that hasn't happened yet. So
Most impressive.
most
not a
impressive.
Jedi
That's
yet.
the thing. Like, if we start talking about other EVs, it's like, okay, here's a car that's worse range. Cool. Here's another car that's not worth it. Cool.
Here's one
okay,
that's
we
trying
talked
to
about
really
other
look
EVs.
like a truck. Oh,
Here's
never
a
mind. It's been
weird-looking EV
discontinued.
from Ford.
Oh wait, maybe it's
here's
not
a
being
picture.
discontinued.
Here's a picture. Give us $3,000.
Let's inflate our stock.
When we're seeing factories built and cars roll out on the street, it makes it that's the standard now. We're not interested in concept photos. We're not interested in promises of next year. We want it now. Speaking of getting things now, did you guys hear about Tesla acquiring some land out in Texas? if you needed confirmation of any kind, Elon has emphasized that they have the option to purchase the land, but they have not exercised it. So why do you think Elon's not confirming this? What's your theory on that? Is he still hoping for a Tulsa last-minute offer or something?
I think he's just shopping for the best deal he can get. He's haggling at this point. I think he already made up his mind. I think it's a haggling thing. Everything, it's funny because all last week I kept getting like Tesla news on my Robinhood app, and so I was reading it, and they're like, "Oh, well, here's why," because it wasn't like the stock itself wasn't behaving erratically, but they're like, "This is primed to disrupt some stuff right now," and so I was reading it, and the consensus all week was that like he's haggling, he's negotiating in a sense like what they're saying like what's the lowest you're willing to go, what's the highest you're willing to offer type of thing. He's just going back and forth. So.
But if they're willing to start doing the paperwork on an official location, and they're putting in the applications in Travis County and everything, like they're not doing this at multiple places. That's my point. Like it's not like they're doing it in 3 different states. Like they're actively only doing this in Austin. And they're also like applications went out for autopilot testers in Austin. So I don't know how much more confirmation we need, but is he just hoping to save this for the shareholder meeting or investor day, or what do you think this is?
I think it's going to happen before then. That's all I have to say.
They'll announce it before shareholder day?
I think I wouldn't be surprised if we got it like in the next week or 2 tops.
It kind of feels like
Tops.
Elon is being not muzzled, but like someone high up at Tesla, obviously under Elon, has been like, hey, we need to start doing a bit better job about announcing things in a way that isn't on Twitter at 3 a.m.
You're not the president, okay? You can't just do that.
I think you're right. I think there's at least the chairman of the board at Tesla and stuff is like, you know what, Elon, can we announce this one?
Yeah.
Can you not tweet everything as soon as it's official?
Because someone asked him, I'm going to go through his replies here about
I was going to talk about Investor Day.
And he was like, I don't really know when the quarterly call, hopefully, or annual shareholders meeting, sorry. He's like, I don't really know when that's going to be. Hopefully after July 4th, I can give you a date. And that kind of just felt like it wasn't, Elon didn't know. It was just he couldn't tell us. Or they've decided at Tesla, whether that's Elon included or someone else told Elon, doesn't matter. Just they've decided that Elon is not going to be tweeting about that right now.
He said that they're considering combining the annual shareholder meeting with Battery Investor Day and just doing them at the same time, which I'm actually not a big fan of. No. Because in my opinion, that kind of distorts and makes Investor Day less special. Yeah. Because now we got to talk about, shareholders and their pitches, and there's, people are like, why don't we work on advertising? Like that kind of thing. Yeah. I'm not interested in talking about the financials. I just want to talk about Battery Investor Day. That's just the battery stuff. So I don't want them to combine the two, but which if either of you were suggesting August for Battery Investor Day, that's looking more likely now because he's saying likely going to be pushed a month past July, a month or so later, which I'm genuinely frustrated about now because Battery Investor Day is going to be close to a year late. So
thanks, COVID.
Yeah, it's not all COVID's fault though.
I think
thanks,
it was late
Obama.
before COVID. Yes, it's all his fault.
Can we still say that? 2020 is such a bummer. Thanks, Obama. Thanks, Obama.
A little late on that one, but
so
yeah,
man, August. That's sad. I
don't even have much faith it'll be in August because of how many times he's told us it's like a couple months away and then it gets pushed back again. Because I remember hearing it would be March, then April, then May, then June, then July. Now it's August. Like, how many times
July.
can we actually push this back?
July to me.
July to me, Elon. How could you?
You lied to me, Elon.
It's almost the reverse. It's very ironic. I'm sorry if I bring this up a lot, but it's almost the polar opposite problem of Nikola. Nikola is all talk, no action.
Yep.
So many promises, not enough delivery.
Yeah.
Tesla's doing a bunch of stuff, and they're doing a bunch of action behind the scenes, but there's no talk. There's very little talking about what they're doing. We're just trying to piece together the action. I agree. What Tesla's doing is better. It's better to not have enough talk and be having a lot of action than it is a lot of talk and not much action.
Right.
But they need some more, promises or announcing things, because there's so much Elon saying that's not happening.
Yeah.
We're not doing that. That's not confirmed. Give us something here, because we're hearing so much between semi-production, Cybertruck factory location, when the Roadster comes out. There's so much like unspoken announcements and stuff. Like, did you see the Tesla website was redesigned again?
I saw you tweet about it, but I've been so busy with work I haven't actually had time to look at this beautiful website.
What a long answer to say no.
Well, Randy, you spent like 15 minutes saying yes and no.
That
to
is
our
true.
question.
That is true. To be fair,
Solar
I'm not the crazy
panels.
one.
I learned from the best, and that's you, Drew. I'm far center.
A far center. Solar panels are now front and center for
I
their
see
website.
that.
Wow.
That's the first thing,
Hey,
because
got
they
sexy.
launched some new.
Good job.
Yeah, they finally got the sexy lineup correct.
That almost makes more sense, right? Like the way they organize it. Like sedans are more popular than SUVs. The expensive sedan's the one they want you to buy, so they put that first, and then the budget sedan is after that, and it follows the.
Well, and I think they realized, like, if you're buying a car, you probably know which one you're getting.
Yeah.
So you don't need the Model 3 to be the landing page every time.
Yeah.
Because it's like, we know what you're looking for. No one's like, what should I get? Let me compare, and they just swipe between. They probably know what they're doing. If they're actually ordering one, they know what car they're getting. So you don't need the 3 to be the landing page. But I think the solar business is probably really underrated and underappreciated. And Tesla feels like not enough people know about that. So they're really emphasizing it now, especially given they introduced some new systems that are cheaper than before and more efficient. So
Pray tell. I haven't heard about these, and I am highly
before
interested
like
in
the
solar.
I don't know the exact numbers of all of the panel sizes, because I primarily was looking at the small size. But basically before, like a couple days ago, the small solar system was around $10,500.
Solar system. Jupiter
The
is
small
closer
solar-
to the sun.
Right, the mini system with Mercury. The small system was like 3.7 kilowatts for 10,500. Then they refreshed it to now just be 10,000 for over 4 kilowatts. Essentially meaning more energy can be produced for cheaper than before. So better in every way.
And that's for
my
the
guess
standard
is-
solar panels, not for the solar roof, right?
Yeah, no, I don't think the roof changed. I think the roof is the same price as this before. Just the regular panels, if you buy them outright, they're now 10,000 instead of 10,500 and higher energy density. So good things for the panel business, making them cheaper, making them more efficient. And my guess is that they probably have maybe some demand issues with that. Maybe they feel like they have factories ready to produce as many panels as possible, but not enough orders. So they want to emphasize that now on the site and let people know, like, hey, come on, we got panels, please. But either it's COVID or people being scared of solar, but just because they've heard it's expensive and confusing, so they don't want to do it yet. So that's my guess, is that not enough people are ordering them, so they want to really, really push it on the site. I don't know what you guys think, but that's my theory.
Battery day.
More battery day.
Like maybe it's because they're all tie into battery day about how all this is being utilized. I don't know, but this is a very nice redesign. I like it. I like how more detailed it is, just for educational.
I love
purposes.
the pictures they used for the 3 and the Y are fantastic.
Yeah.
They look great.
The pictures that they use, and I'm probably the only person on the internet who has noticed this. I obsess over the model homes that Tesla uses.
Oh yeah, they look gorgeous.
Yeah, but they changed the.
I was just using
the huge front landing one. They changed the door on that door. The garage door used to be semi-transparent glass broken into like little black segments, and now it's wood, and that annoys me. I don't know why
it's not modern.
that annoys. It's
okay.
I don't know.
I'm glad we have that
That's
clarified.
on the record now. That annoys me, guys.
You don't like wooden garage doors?
No, I don't mind
like
it,
that
but
look.
it kind of broke the whole facade. Like, I thought I could, drive by that house at one point and see the beautiful architecture plus the beautiful technology. But that's not a real picture. It's some 3D render, and I guess I should have thought about that earlier, but... Elon
the
was
Model
like,
S's be looking nice on their thing. I really like
they
that.
got the best range EV first now, 400 miles.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
That is crazy. I mean, it's
miles.
It's kind of like we talked about, I think, when we were talking how Randy's battery was going below 300. It's like the human mind works in weird ways with milestones, because the battery in the Model S is the exact same battery that it was, the exact same range that it was in January of this year. But just because the EPA screwed up on their testing, now it's official 400 miles, even though it was technically the same months ago. We just like the official, approval. Okay, EPA says it's 400. So in a way, it's a big milestone, but at the same time, it's kind of not that different.
Hold up, did the power walls get cheaper?
Yeah, they lowered the price of the Powerwalls a little bit. I think they offered some bundling deals now, which I don't know why you would get a Powerwall without solar.
$18,500 for 4 kilowatt hour solar plus a Powerwall. That is, that's awesome.
It's gotten a lot cheaper. Solar has definitely gotten cheaper over the years. Yeah, they're proud of that. I even considered it a little bit, considering there's still a right now, this year, there's a 26% federal tax credit, and there's no limit to that. So no matter how much you spend on solar, you can write off 26% of the cost on your federal taxes, and that'll go down to 22% next year, and then 10% the year after that, and then after that, the tax credit will only be for commercial, not residential. So if you want to get solar and you want to write off some federal tax credit, you got a couple years to do it. But
sorry,
now is better than later.
Still staring at it.
That's okay.
The Model S, though, 402 miles. They did it. They did it.
I doubt anyone's actually going to hit that, but
and anyone since January. What? How does Tesla do this? This is magic.
Well, EPA left the door open overnight, so
that's true.
That's why it looked worse than it actually was. But the fact that they can do that with a 100 kilowatt hour battery pack and the Taycan, I think it almost feels comical that the Taycan goes 201 and the Model S goes 402. It's a perfect doubling. I wonder if the EPA did that intentionally. What did the Taycan get? Yeah, just double that. That's what the Model S is. That's basically
that sounds about right.
Official rating. Yeah. I saw some concept troll someone made on Twitter that was like, they should add a filter for the battery setting in the Tesla, where you know how it has 80% and then trip, the different levels of charging when you're charging up the Tesla. They could have different levels for different cars. So they'd be like Taycan, BMW, Volt. Ford Mach-E. Yeah, the Volt. They show you all the different levels of charge. Yeah. You have charged up to the range of a Taycan now. And then you can keep going. It would be a nice little troll on the competition, but they probably won't do it.
That would be pretty
You know what's crazy is I'm just building my interior for my Model X here. You could fit 7 people in there. Not comfortably, but you can do it.
Pretty comfortably in the X, I think.
Yeah.
Not the Y.
I fit in the third row of the X. I tried it out.
Really?
Yeah. I don't. It's not a headroom. Like my hair is touching the glass, but since there's like a glass roof in the back, like there's enough space in the third row for me to sit, fairly comfortably. I mean,
to be fair, I don't know very many third row vehicles that are very roomy.
To be fair, I don't know any other third row of a vehicle I can sit in comfortably.
Other than like a van.
Show.
Yeah.
That's true.
Like a maintenance van has a roomy third row, but even in like all of my family members have like Toyota Highlanders, and I've sat in the third row of that.
The long range and the performance range is off by a mile for the Model Y.
Huh.
Yeah, I don't know why they gave them two different ranges, but they did.
One has a different. I mean, top speed's the only real thing, and then pickup for it. But it's just looking at it like, wow, 315 for performance, 316 for long range. So it could technically be long range.
Legal reason.
Yeah,
there's some legal reason they did that. I don't think it's a genuine. Test.
Yeah, I think it's a technical, so they can call it long range.
Yeah, it's like it's longer, just a little. You get the longest
mile.
range on the cheapest, but. Oh, I forgot to talk about this. I saw my first Model Y, gents. I have finally seen one. My goal was to see at least one. I have seen it. My goal was to see at least one in person in 2020, and it was very brief. I tweeted it out, but I'm glad I got the video.
Yeah,
because it was very close to not. We were very close to not capturing it at all, but we got just a little glimmer of it. But I will say, after seeing one in person, the design change was more noticeable than I was expecting. Because it's always fun anytime we go for a drive to just call it, there's an S, there's an X, there's a 3. I do that.
I play that game all the time with my wife.
You play that game and you have a 3.
I go, ooh, look at that. We saw a Model S that had Tesla written across, or it had the I'm sorry, not Model S. Model 3. We had a Model 3 that had the emblem and then Tesla written right below it all across the whole thing.
I've seen those.
It looks like a Model S. And I go, oh, because she goes, wait, that's a Model, because we're behind it and we can't really tell. And she goes, Model 3? And I go, it looks like a Model 3, but it has Tesla written across it on the back, which is very Model S-like.
Yeah.
So we pull next to it, and I'm like, that is a Model 3.
That's a modification, isn't it?
Yeah, that is. You can buy like little stickers.
Yeah,
Abstract
Model
Ocean
S's don't even have it
for...
written across. I saw Model S today, where we were.
You went out of the house
going
today?
For a hike.
Good job.
Yeah, we went for a hike this
Happy
morning.
First day
in
of
the
summer,
parking lot. There was
by the
a
way.
Model S. Oh, it's today.
Yep, today was the longest
felt like
day
summer
of the year.
here for 4 months.
Exactly.
But after seeing the Y in person, it was very recognizable because obviously I'd been calling out 3SX whenever we see one, and at first it was coming from the opposite direction. It was very far away, and it had that icon. Like I can spot a 3 from a mile away. It's very iconic, very recognizable, and that's what I thought it was initially. I just saw that little headlight Tesla look, and I was like, oh, there's a white 3 coming up. And as we got closer, it was still pretty far away. I was just like, wait, that's tall. That one's way taller than a 3 is supposed to be. And I hadn't even gotten to the side of it before I knew it was a Y. I was just like, oh, that is a Y. I can tell because of the height. It was noticeably taller. And they still had a lot of cars between it and us. But still, at our closest point, I could tell, like, that's a much bigger car than I was expecting. I wasn't anticipating, in the pictures and stuff, it looks pretty normal. But once I actually saw it, I was like, that looks pretty big. That thing's pretty sizable compared to a 3. The 3 starts to look more like a snake, compared to a Y.
Looks like a turtle.
Just from the sheer height, yeah. And also it was confirmed when I got real close and I saw the matte black trim. I was like, whoa. And whoever was driving that, you're now on my Twitter page. I don't know who you are, but I hope I didn't reveal too much. But yeah, it was cool to see. I've seen that analysts and stuff are predicting deliveries for the Y have really picked up lately. They're really ramping fast. Like, someone commented on Ryan Shaw's video, like, he ordered a Model Y on June 2nd, and he's taking delivery June 25th.
Wow.
Which is a real quick delivery time.
That's next week.
So I don't know if... Yeah, so that's a little over 3 weeks of a delivery window for someone ordering one now. So I think that could be a combination of production ramping as well as... I'm going to go ahead and say it. I think demand has tampered a little bit from the pandemic. I think that there's less people ordering than before, especially seeing how quickly Tesla was able to accelerate their delivery windows. Every Model 3 is 1 to 2 weeks for me. Same with every Model S and every Model X. Deliveries are, 1 to 2 weeks, which is the lowest they've ever been. I've never seen it lower than that. And now I'm hearing people are getting their Ys quick when they order them. Other than, sadly, the people who ordered long-range rear-wheel drive, they haven't heard anything. Tesla still hasn't said if they're building those or not. So I don't know what's going to happen with them. But yeah, I think Model Ys are ramping fast.
Guys,
So does that mean you're gonna pick one up then?
No, it's still too much.
It's funny because the 7-seater is still not available till 2021.
Yeah, they used to let you reserve that, but then once deliveries started getting close, they grayed it out, and now they don't let you reserve that,
right?
Which I find odd. I still think 7-seater is going to be a bad idea for the Y. I think
did you
it's
see
too small.
That video? I believe Sandy did it. He no, is that Derek? I can't remember.
Yeah, it
who
was
did
Sandy.
It. Someone was. There were like two people trying to fit in the back. And like 2 adults did fit back there, but
Rear facing.
yeah, they're
Pretty
rear facing, obviously, and
but that's not super safe.
exactly. Yeah, the crumple zone,
especially
and stuff.
if you. Yeah. So I mean, they did it with the S, but the prototype they had at the Model Y unveil did have forward-facing seats in the back, but there was essentially like no legroom, no headrest, and the website still says it seats 7 adults.
Yeah.
So I think
As long as
they
2
backed
of those
themselves into
adults
the corner.
are Randy, then we're good.
Yeah.
I'll sit in the front.
When we do our test drive, we should try.
Let me tell you something there, Nick.
Yes,
For
sir.
now on, you are getting put in the middle seat in the back.
He's been banished to the hump.
What hump?
Enjoy.
There's no hump.
Enjoy all that.
It's a Tesla. Yeah.
No, I think. Do you think they're still going to go forward with the 7-seater, or do you think that was a mistake?
I think they have to own it now. It's the only way it can make it compelling enough to be compelling in the sense that like those crossovers, those hatchbacky, sedan-esque,
Soccer mom.
They all most of them. They if you're not gonna put if it's not gonna be a wider vehicle, because I've seen some that have like 4 seats even, but normally because it's either 5 or 7. They don't give you a 6. So
Yeah, I mean the X has a 6, but
right,
that's pretty rare.
More of a reason.
There's. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, Randy. You're more important than me on this show. If we're on the space podcast, I can talk over you. That's the rule.
And I would sit there with my little primate brain going, "Oh." But here I could talk about the tech all day. But we're not talking about tech. We're just talking about configuration. I think it's you need to add the 7-seater to add more space between the 3 and the Y. I think it has to happen.
I think
but it's going to be real cramped.
Some point. Yeah, and it's only going to be because they said they were going to do it. I think right now, if they were just announcing the car, they wouldn't announce it with
car seats. Like children and stuff can go in the back like that.
No, what you do is you just, all of the kids, you have 6 kids and you're all taking them on a road trip. You put your favorite kid in the front seat and the 2 of your least favorite kids in the rear facing back, and
keep them far away. Yeah.
You don't see them
in the back.
You can't hear them. They're just way back there. And if you get in a rear end collision, then
I
at least they were your least favorite.
One sitting in the far back. But
it looks bad.
Jokes on them is when I was in the way back, I used to get away with so much stuff because I'd be very mischievous because they can't see me or hear me. So I would get into a lot of stuff like in the back, because then you can reach over to the little trunk space or where you have your stuff, and I would get into the snacks and stuff. So I got promoted to front seat, and then I had all this space, and I didn't get nauseous. And that's another thing too. Just random thought with all those seats and stuff like that, air ventilation and getting air back there, because I can tell you right now, in the Model 3 alone, sometimes they don't get the best. It's not the best angle of the vents right there shooting air out.
You don't know how nice you have it. The Sonata has no AC vents in the back seats at all.
I don't know.
So you get nothing back there.
It wasn't until I moved towards the back seat to start filming, I was like, it's really hot back here. Oh my god!
You got less. You don't get the giant, open vent like the front seat.
Oh
does,
no! So I had to go and
I don't
point
care.
it like that.
I'm not sitting back there.
Well, yeah, until you do, and then you're like, ooh. But then I realized
the Model Y people will get a nice view, but they'll get a hotter view.
That's true.
There you go.
It'll
And then you're
just
going to
be
cook.
a panoramic sun baking oven.
I mean,
Solar powered oven. There you go.
people always told me that
Yeah.
my roof was going to actually make the car a lot hotter than it should be or what it was, and I've yet to have an issue. You know, I have got into the car like any other time of the year, and if I have the AC, like if I have it like dog mode, you know, it doesn't cook. The heating up of the cabin does not overpower the AC, and the AC I always have set to auto, so cool the cabin down to 70 degrees, and then it just idles. It's not fighting with the sun. So I think that protective coat that's on the top does a lot better job than people have told me. I've had like other owners.
Maybe it does better than it used to, because I've heard they've used different materials in more recent Model 3s. Like the older ones will, when they get wet, they would turn all orange and red on top. And I've heard the new ones don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
Oh wow, I like that because it was fun. We took funny photos.
I liked it too. I thought it was cool. Yeah, the one you guys rented and drove up did that, and I remember walking out and looking at it one morning, and I thought something was wrong. I opened the door. I was like, "What happened?" It's like all orange and red, and then you looked it up. He's like, "Oh no, they just do that. It's just one of the things." But yeah, they got rid of it sadly.
Yeah. Oh. What can you do? A whole lot more, actually.
You win some, you lose some. Was I the first of us to see a Model Y?
Yes.
Have you seen one in person, Randy?
I have not seen one in person.
That makes no sense.
I was the first person to see a semi, so.
You will always have that. But I'm surprised Randy hasn't seen one, given
Randy will be the first person to see a
area.
Cybertruck if he makes a little road trip.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be at a public event of some kind. Did you look into that, Nick? Is that like ticketed thing?
Yeah, it is a ticketed thing. You have to register for it.
Boom.
But they're
how's that
pretty
public?
reasonable. Well, you can
really?
pay to get in. It's like a museum. It's just like a museum, but since the COVID thing, they got shut down, and they're reopening, they're only letting so many people in at a time. And
how much is it?
I think it's like $15 or something per person.
Oh my goodness.
It's like a whole car museum, though. It's like a huge car museum. But
to see the Cybertruck? I need to know how far away we'll be.
Yeah, if $15 is like, how much is that going to give me for B-roll?
I mean, I think you'd make me happy.
Exclusive. All I know is there probably will be at least some people there that record and take pictures, and we can see those.
Yeah, and then they can give you copyright claims when you use it.
Yeah, that's what'll happen. I'll let someone else do it first, see if they get any trouble. But yeah, no, I think that'll be cool. Do you guys genuinely think? Sorry if we're going back to the Cybertruck. I love the Cybertruck.
Let's have it.
I don't mind.
Do you think they will actually reach the 39,000 entry price point, or do you think that was wishful thinking?
Yes.
I could see them not hitting that. I could see that being the 35K Model 3 or the 39K Model Y. I could see that end up, just because, to me, honestly, that seems like the best deal ever on any object known to mankind.
Right?
I mean, 6-seater, electric, so you can charge it, supercharging capable, adaptive air suspension, 6-foot bed,
glass roof,
exoskeleton made of stainless steel, glass roof.
Drove off a movie set for the next Blade Runner.
Yeah, Tesla armored glass. And how big are those wheels? They're huge.
I don't know. They're big.
So the question is, like,
Randy says
$39,000 bucks.
Yeah. You're paying for the tech.
For all that?
You're paying for the tech.
Yeah, but with all that is included with that tech, I just feel like if they did truly want to get the Cybertruck down to that price point, they would have to drastically lower the price of the YN3 by the time it launches. There's no way they could launch that truck with that price point with the current pricing of the Model Y and 3.
No.
Could they?
I think that's why it's not coming until 2022.
Well, yeah, maybe. But, like, manufacturing costs are so down, and...
Partially, but they're also adding in a bunch of stuff.
You know what you're doing, Drew?
Yeah.
You're thinking in a very antiquated way. That bigger in the size of the truck. we're
Size
flipping-
doesn't matter, folks.
I'm not talking about size. I'm talking about features.
Only
The
small
things
people
it can
say
do
that,
the
Nick.
3 and Y. But Nick just said it, and he's not small at all.
No. He's jolly green giant.
No, I mean you don't get air suspension on the 3 or Y. You don't get a 6-foot bed. You don't get the vault with the tailgate that turns into a ramp. You don't get all that kind of stuff with a 3 or Y.
Yeah, but you also don't get a Cybertruck either with the 3 or Y.
That's true.
I know, but that's a selling point.
So I think they're probably not going to hit the 39,000 for a while. As much as I want that price point, like I think at this point that's the one I should get, the cheapest possible one with full self-driving.
That's the one I would get.
Because
If every announced Tesla was available today, that's the one I would get.
Yeah. Well, because
But
like
if you
I don't
adjust
drive,
for costs and inflation
Exactly.
and all that stuff, maybe not.
Inflation in 2 years.
if we're all alive in 2 years and
Yeah, there you go.
39,000 before taxes, you'll never actually pay 39 out the door. Okay, maybe.
yeah.
But
No, we're talking
I mean,
we're
this is
talking pre-tax. but
47,000 out the door with
If
no
you consider-
FSD 55
Yeah.
with.
If you consider Model 3 is currently 38,000 before tax, do we really think that they're going to sell a sedan for that price and then giant truck for $1,000 more that has giant tires and air suspension and
the
a
interior
bed
would be different. Everything in the cabin would be different. Cheaper quality material. You don't get the
Does
Yeah,
the
they'll probably
display.
have cloth seats. The 39,000 might have cloth seats in the Cybertruck.
Whoa,
I mean, it's a work
that'd
truck.
be interesting.
I
I
mean,
heard
I'd rather,
they said they were going to
honestly-
do that with the 3. and
Honestly,
they
I'd
didn't.
rather have cloth seats in a working type vehicle because cloth is a lot easier to clean than leather after it gets stained. You just take it to the place and they shampoo it and, they can get rid of anything. But if you tear like leather or, I don't know, I feel like leather's less durable. I don't know. That's
Maybe.
my
I mean,
possibly flawed
to
opinion
an
of it.
argument, it's easier to wipe down if you spill something. You can just
That's true. But
baby wipe that thing
I
up.
don't know.
You can't really do that with fabric. But they said originally that on the lower price 35K Model 3, they were going to have like non-motorized seats and they'd be made of
Oh, yeah.
fabric instead
Wow.
of leather. But
they did that
They
for like
changed their
2
mind
weeks,
and-
right?
I don't know if they actually released any. I haven't seen
Well, like,
any,
there
but
was,
I
like,
heard that there was
small
plans
window
to.
where
But
they had the $35,000 Model 3 and it didn't have the center console and it had like cloth seats, right?
no,
you
I don't
guys
think
remember
they
that?
actually built them.
They didn't build
No,
them?
I never seen one. But I heard they were thinking
that
about
feels
it.
like
They were
it's
trying
familiar, but I don't know if I
think I remember seeing a
making
video
that-
of the guy who had 2 and he was comparing the cheap cloth seat one with no, like they only had 4
See,
speakers.
and
I'll look it up.
in that video, I remember him talking about how he doesn't have the extra plugins for USB.
There were just 2 of them.
You know what? You're right. Well, yeah, there was only 2. Yeah, there were differences with the center console, but it wasn't that. It wasn't. You're right.
Like it was
I
just
remember
one
seeing
big
that video.
open bin. It didn't have the
Something like that.
folding-
I remember seeing that video. Yeah, yeah, you're right.
I think
I can't find it.
I think that was only for like a week or 2, and
It might
Tesla
have been
figured
like
out
the
that
first
it
shipment.
wasn't.
They probably realized it wasn't saving them money because obviously it eventually went to what'll save us the most money is just having the least amount of variety possible.
'Cause
So
you have
that's
the-
why Standard Range became Standard Range Plus, just with software limitations because it was
You have
cheaper to just
partial
install that software.
premium interior or something like that, and they did away with that. I remember asking at the Tesla about that because I was like, "What's the difference between the interior?" Because I said my big selling point for me, my focus is the interior, and he goes, "Well, now it's across the board. The interior is the same, with the exception that if you get the long range, or if you get standard range, the only thing you're going to lose on the interior is you're not going to get the tweeters and the subwoofer in the back." For audio, other than that, everything's exactly the same. And I was like, wait. So the center console still comes with the ports. Like all that has been equalized amongst all of them. But you're absolutely right, Nick. I do remember seeing that a long time ago, and I think that was something in 2018.
No, I think it was very beginning of 2019. It was about the time they started doing the leases.
Because in
That's when
28,
Standard Range launched, was early 2019.
Yeah.
I remember when they showed the performance one. It had the. I mean, I never went into for sale, so it was just for the showcasing of it. But the performance Model 3 had the Model S doors, and I thought that was so cool how it would just kind of shoot out like that. And there's a lot of things that they did with like the cheap end and the most expensive end that never actually made it to fruition.
I wonder if the Cybertruck's going to get like more Model 3 like handles instead of the Model S type.
S handles.
Well, I mean, they're not the exact S ones, but yeah, they motorize out on the Cybertruck.
Yeah, I think
it was that J didn't look right on a truck because they were clearly with the design scheme.
It could still just be a square. You just push on one side of it and the other side pops out, and it would just be like a little bar that you grab.
Would that work as well?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, because the way I instruct people not to open my doors, I go, put your thumb on the big part, push down, and that's how I tell them to open my car.
But then the handle they're grabbing is lower than their thumb, whereas on the truck, if it was just a rectangle that they're pushing on, it would be kind of
Maybe
awkward.
they just need to make it a triangle and make it match the rest of the...
As long as there's no curves. As long as there's no curves, right?
Exactly.
That's the
they
whole thing.
can't have any curves on that thing.
Except for the wheels, which
Even the
somehow they
steering wheel.
made look not circular. I don't know how they did that.
They made a sharp-looking wheel. Even the steering wheel, they could just make it a square instead.
People are saying that like
circle.
they don't like the
I'm
Cybertruck
playing
steering wheel,
Minecraft.
right?
Yeah. The steering wheel looks interesting. I don't know if that's probably not going to make it onto the production model.
I really hope that like there's some mod. I've seen people put like racing wheels on their Model 3 and stuff. Like, I hope there's some mod to do that. I would totally do that because it looks so futuristic. Like
I think it's
the
gonna
entire
come.
interior is like minimalist, like square, boxy, and then you got this round steering wheel. That just doesn't feel right.
I don't think it'll be round. I just don't know if that one they used on the prototype will be the wheel they use.
I don't know.
But
There's no laws against having like 10 and 2 or 3 and 9 or
I think
4
in
and
some jurisdictions
7.
there is a little bit of regulation on what kind of wheels, because enough people say it's illegal that I would assume somewhere it might be.
Some areas require you to have a license plate on the front, like California, and I tell them to shove it. I'm not doing it, and I won't do it. I was like, it doesn't matter. Like, I don't have a place for it. I'm not going to do it, and no one's ever, complained. Cops actually will just look at it.
Never gotten in trouble.
No. Cops love the car. They're like, that's a nice looking car. They don't care. They.
That's good.
Out of, I guess maybe even, now they got more things to worry about than trying to give me a fix a ticket on a plate.
That's probably not high on the priorities list.
Not anymore.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be boy Karen. I'm gonna be Carol. Really? Really? I'm recording you, and then I'm just gonna record them. This guy gave me a ticket because I'm breaking a state law. Can you believe this?
I think we have one on the front of ours. I haven't looked at the front of our car in forever.
You have it.
There's been no reason to.
You have it.
It's probably full of bugs.
It's something I've immediately made note of. The very first time I ever got in the first Tesla in 2018.
Mm-hmm.
It's something I made note of. And you have it. Nick has it. My Jetta had it. Everybody has it. Some Model S's have it because it did have the cutout square for it. But not all Model S's, but the older ones did have it. It's crazy. It's just little things I'll make notes like, huh. And I think the truck will have it because it's boxy, so it can fit that.
Not on the front. It better not have a license plate on the front.
You could sticker the plate.
I would move states
like a stamp
before I'd stick a license plate on the front of my Cybertruck.
I think your priorities are a little wrong.
No. I work remotely, Randy. You don't understand how little attached I am to my current location because
you'd have to drive for 4 hours to see somebody, so I don't think you need any license plate on your truck.
Exactly.
You'd probably be fine without one.
That's probably what it is around here. I haven't checked. I'll have to do that. But if they make me stick, I hate it when you get some European sports car or something, and they have to it's all beautifully styled and it's just gorgeous.
Yeah.
And then they have to stick the license plate on it, and it's on some piece of metal sticking off of a little slot in the body panel gap, and it's just
I saw those.
It was so pretty, but then you ruined it.
I think y'all are exaggerating. I don't think it looks that bad, to be honest.
Yes, it does.
I've seen Teslas with the plate on the front. Cybertruck in particular would look fine just because of how great you could
on the back. It would look fine.
Lick the license plate and slap it on the
Just get a magnet.
There.
Remember when Nick got so heartbroken when he found out the Cybertruck didn't have like a solid beam of light, and it's two separate ones, and he's like, "Yo!"
I think they're doing that when it's on streets for legal reasons or something.
Oh, for sure.
It has to be.
On the front or the back?
The front. The headlights aren't, it's not one solid beam. When they were testing it on city streets, it was two separate lights.
I forgot about that. Randy, why did you bring that up?
Yeah.
I think production model, I think maybe the high beams is the center line.
Yeah,
so
I'll
when you want your brights
all the time. I don't care.
You're going to blind everyone you're driving.
I don't care.
A typical American, ladies and gentlemen. He does not care what you're doing. He's going to inconvenience your life so he can feel good.
No, there's no one around to inconvenience.
I don't think that singular beam is going to stick around, to be honest. Sorry, Nick. I don't know.
I think it will. I disagree. You think the steering wheel will stick, but not the headlights?
The steering wheel, it has. I think it's already changed. I think the original video that we saw, the day of, and they kind of show it.
Yeah.
To what Jay Leno was driving, they don't look like the same steering wheel. I think it's been more stuff has been.
I didn't get a good look.
I was more focused on the Jay Leno part.
Oh well, let's see. When you take a look at this, what's going on? But right. I don't think the interior part. I mean, people customize everything in their interior all the time. The steering wheel is not far-fetched at all, but a head beam like that, or head beams.
It looked like they needed to use the steering wheel for the blinkers because there was no stocks on the side of the steering wheel on the Cybertruck. So people were saying they've been pressing the buttons on the steering wheel for left and right blinkers.
That would work. Or better yet, you could just use the center. You could just use the center touchscreen, and while you're driving, just be like,
that would suck. That would be terrible. No, there's just a little button on the top, like triggers of a plane, like a crop duster. Like you can click one side and it activates the right
I crop
blinker.
dust all the time, Drew. I know what you're talking about.
I mean, for emergency blinkers, you just press them both down.
True.
That makes sense.
Emergency flashers.
Actually, you have to have.
No, I think actually they require.
You're required to have a.
They require a dedicated button for that.
They
still can't get away with the no side view mirrors. There hasn't been any law changes on that
yet.
I still think there won't be. I think the Cybertruck's going to have rear view mirrors side view mirrors.
I'm ripping
by the
those
time
things off. I don't care.
It launches.
The law is they cannot deliver them.
They'll be magnets.
Yeah, they'll be magnets. They have to deliver them with it, but you can fix it. Did you see?
Well, especially now, like the software update Tesla's just got. I don't know if you wanted to bring this up, but they let you look at the diagonal cameras now behind you, not just the rear view camera. When you go backwards, you can swipe up, and now it'll show you your blind spot angles. So you can look at 3 different cameras simultaneously on the Model 3 display. That was in the latest update, which I thought was cool.
I don't have that.
You gotta wait your turn, Randy.
I didn't get that one yet. Oh no.
The other change coming up, I heard, is early access. Is that with green lights, you won't have to confirm anymore.
Lovely.
So it'll go straight through.
Well, I confirm by accelerating.
Yeah. Well, you won't have to do that in the next big update. It'll just go straight through green lights. So they got enough data.
I have this weird roundabout that I have when I get off my exit that technically does almost a U-turn on this big curve, but there's a stoplight that makes you have to finish. And as I'm turning, it always tells me stoplight in 100 yards, 50 yards.
Yeah.
And I just kind of accelerate it, and then it just starts speeding up when it's a sharp turn. And I never saw it to completion because I'm too scared. It is whipping around on this off ramp, and it's going so quick. And even when I slow it down to 30, it's like, no, we're gonna speed up because it's okay. Go faster now. And
no. It's okay.
I found a little hack to let it make this complete turn because it's technically you're making a right turn sharp, but it curves into it, and it has never stopped. But I've never done it full automated because I'm too scared. I'm just speeding the whole time, and I'm like, ah! And so I have to break it. So eventually I'll try it, but I might have to do it like at night when no one's around because I'm so scared.
Yeah.
What if I
I heard
you
roundabout
on the
support's
news,
coming.
Man in expensive car flips car over freeway overpass because he was using
No,
the
for
autopilot.
local news, it'd be local resident Randy has once again taken his Tesla. They know me by name at this point.
with the bad green screen background, circa Homecoming from Spider-Man.
Hey,
Local
unrelated
resident
to everything,
Randy.
I'm getting some weird clipping with my AirPod, and it's making me very uncomfortable. It's like it's trying
Yep,
to do
the
noise.
defective.
The fans couldn't
Gotta-
hear that, and they didn't need to know that, Randy. Now they
Got to get them replaced.
now they don't
I can
know
get it
that
replaced?
this is an illusion. We're not actually sitting
Apple's-
right next to each other.
Well, I can hear you fine in this one, but this one's like it goes,
Is ANC on?
That's bad.
Sometimes when ANC on, it gets a little mixed up. Okay.
nothing's on.
Either way. Have
So-
you guys seen the statistics of people trying to calculate how fast the Roadster will be with the SpaceX package? Did you see those articles? They were saying 0 to 60 in 1.1 seconds
Oh my gosh.
with the cold gas thruster.
2.5 G's.
Which is, I have questions about that because, for one, can they legally do that? And is that safe to do on public streets?
No, I don't think
I don't
think so. It's
I
gonna
don't think
be
it's safe to
only
be
on
at a red
tracks.
light and be like, watch me. Air cannon goes off. You go 60 miles an hour in 1.1 seconds.
And then you have to
Or is that going to be something that like geographically makes sure you're off public streets?
probably I don't know. I think with the Dodge Demon, which is kind of the fastest affordable mass market car, there are, the Bugatti Chiron or, other more expensive cars that go faster. But the one that I've seen experience with, they have two keys. One's a track key and one's like a daily key. And the daily key limits it to like 500 horsepower or something, but the track key goes all the way up to 750 or whatever. And obviously it won't be a key in the Roadster, but I think there'll be a setting where you have to like go through 8 pages of confirmation, like, okay, you're sure you're on the track? Okay, yes. Is it raining? No. Is it, are you buckled up? Have you checked the track for debris? Have you like, yeah.
So disclaimers upon disclaimers before you're able to activate the cold gas thrusters, do you think?
Yeah. And I don't think it'll be limited to a track. Like, you won't have to be geolocated to a track, but you're not going to be able to do it at a stoplight.
So you could do it on public streets?
You could, but I don't think you're going to be able to.
How not a stoplight?
Well, it'll take 2 minutes to warm up the battery pack and do its stance.
Well, you could do that before you get to the stoplight.
I don't know. They're going
What
to
do you
want
think,
to. They're
Randy?
going to want to avoid people doing that at the stoplight. And the cold gas
Yeah, but
thruster
how?
is only going to be good until your cold gas is out. So, and you're going to have to go get that refilled at a Tesla the station, like at the
No. You could do it with a battery pack.
the cold gas thruster.
Yeah, they're just taking air from the surroundings. They don't need to refuel.
No. It's a
Yeah.
liquefied.
No.
SpaceX uses
No.
liquefied. I don't remember which kind of gas. It's their the reaction control thrusters is what I'm imagining. They're not going to put a Super Draco in the back of a. They're
Well,
not,
he said miniaturized. There'd be like 10 of them.
yeah, I'd imagine it would be like a reaction control thruster, and those use it's like liquefied gas, oxygen, and probably nitrogen. It's inert. It would have to be inert, so liquefied nitrogen or something. And you'd have to go get that filled up either at your Tesla service center or somewhere, and it would only be good for 2 or 3 goes.
That seems very wasteful.
No, totally.
I doubt that. I personally think they'll use something else. I don't think that it'll need refueling. But we'll see in time, I guess.
Yeah.
What do you think, Randy? Will they let you do it at stoplights?
No.
How? How do they stop you?
The same reason why there's a constant GPS on you.
And it can see the stoplights,
That's-
right?
Yeah.
That's what I said. I said it'd be GPS locked, but Nick was saying it wouldn't be.
I don't think it'll be GPS locked, but maybe it'll say, "Hey, I see a stoplight. I'm not going to do that."
Well, I mean, that's
So you could
it
do it-
stopping you. Well, GPS. Do you whether see? It's not just it sees the stoplight, but it's also annoying because, like I said, my roundabout doesn't see the stoplight, but it knows it's coming because
Yeah.
of GPS. So
I think they'll let you merge onto the freeway, is what I mean by allowing you to do it on public roads. Because if they don't let you do it onto the freeway, even if you have to pull over and prepare the car for it, and then have your 1 second of fun getting onto the freeway, and at that point it's just a track car. If you can't do that. And that's no fun.
I think. Well, you'll obviously have insane acceleration without the thrusters.
True.
To use at stoplights and stuff. But I'm just wondering if they'll let you do the insane 1 second 0 to 60 on public roads, which I think they might via software GPS lock that from being possible. I do agree that they'll make you go through pages and pages of disclaimers. Like already, like ludicrous mode requires that. You have to heat the battery a certain way, and you have to
not
hold
even
a certain
full
part of the
self-driving.
screen.
Enhanced autopilot requires that.
Yeah, you have to go through a bunch of pages of stuff. So
We are not liable. You check this, acknowledging that we are not liable. Da 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 da. Your insurance.
do they
will
have
not
to
cover
enhance the
this.
front-facing radar so it can see things in front of it a lot better? Because they're like, we're going that way real fast
Those
here in a
brakes
second.
are going to be
so
pretty good, though. Like,
They have to be.
you're going to be able to stop pretty quick, too. Like,
Not
there's
1 second.
So that way
Not-
the
not
cop
as fast
can't
as you can
tag you on
accelerate
their,
with the
on
SpaceX
their
back.
Yeah.
speed. Boop, 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 boop. Get him. Like, ew, pull down. No, I was an officer. Prove it. Yeah, you could break it real quick.
I mean, I think. What do you think demand for the Roadster will be?
6 units.
When it's
3 of them will be
actually
for
out.
Marquez.
I mean, they have to give away 80,
True.
but I don't. I think they're not gonna do a limited number. I mean, for the Founders Series, they'll do 1,000, but after that, I think they'll build as many as people want to order.
Yeah.
What do you guys think? Or will they have a fixed amount?
No, build as you go, like everything
If I
else.
had $250,000, I would buy one. Even though I wouldn't fit in it.
What's your estimate prediction for like how many a year they would be building? I'm gonna say definitely less than 10,000 a year.
I think like 250.
A year?
There'll be some initial demand, but if they're going to keep it around, the second year will be 250 going forward. 250
I think
units.
there's going to be more demand than we think, because relatively speaking, it's really not that crazy expensive.
Okay, if
Compared to
when
what
you're
others-
comparing spec for spec, the Chiron is not as good spec, but it's also $2.5 million, which means there are like a dozen of them in the world. But another fast car like a Lambo or some kind of other expensive sports car, you don't see those very frequently either. Like those aren't selling in more than a
in LA,
couple
you
hundred
do.
units. That's where you
Well, I
see
just
them.
mean-
But I don't know. That's still a $250,000 car. Like you buy a real nice house for $250,000.
I saw a Lambo in San Diego the other day driving around like they owned the place. I was like, oh,
Well, they
yeah,
probably
no,
do.
I'm not saying it'll be as common as a Prius. I'm just saying it'll be more.
I don't see that many Priuses, Drew.
I do. They're all over the place still. But I'm just saying it'll be more common than 250 a year. I think it'll be somewhere between 4,000 and 10,000 a year.
Wow.
Somewhere in there. Because I know people, I've seen YouTubers that do not make, they're not millionaires that are saying, yeah, they're getting a Roadster. Just because, people finance it, people trade stuff in, people...
4,000
it's not
roadsters,
I'm not
Drew?
arguing it's
4,000
not
roadsters
a
is
year.
$1 billion. 4,000 roadsters is $1 billion.
And I don't think they're going to make money on the Roadster, personally. I think it's pure marketing. It's meant
Yeah,
for the same.
That's not their bread and butter.
No, they're not planning on making a bunch of money. If anything, they might lose money on the Roadster just because it's a marketing car. It's a car just to improve the brand. And same as the initial Roadster. It wasn't their bread and butter either. They didn't really make tons of money off the original Roadster. It was just it was a statement, basically. It was proving electric cars could be practical and cool and fast. And I think like what Elon said when he unveiled the Roadster, it's supposed to just prove everyone gas cars are dumb. No one should be doing gas cars anymore because you'll be able to buy one that goes for an electric car that goes further, faster, and is more practical than any other supercar, and way cheaper. So I think that's going to be the point of it. Is it's just going to be a statement. It's a status symbol.
If you
but
put
I think
two cup holders in that car, we can talk. If you give me one cup holder, I'm not interested.
We can talk.
I'll put one cup holder for my drink and the other cup holders for my keys. Come on.
Yeah.
I mean, if you consider Giga Shanghai, okay, this is a brand new factory. It's not that old. They're producing 4,000 Model 3s a week. I'm saying 4,000 Roadsters a year globally. Sounds about right to me with the price point and how many people, not obviously a common vehicle, but one that enough people will be able to afford. This is going to be a ton of people's favorite retirement car. This is going to be something people buy when their kids are out of the house and they've got, their stocks are doing great. You know what I want? I want a Roadster because they can have the speed, but also have the practicality and also know it's better for the environment than their previous supercars. I see like every millionaire having one. Everyone.
Graham Stephan's definitely going to have one. No question about that.
Probably. I mean, he's
and
cheap
he'll get
with
it for
certain
$75 a month. So
how I bought a Roadster for $3 a month. Yeah,
not clickbait.
Right. I just mean like in regards to supercars, it'll be one of the most popular ones.
Yeah,
like of its class, of its performance.
I would agree with that, but I'd still say. What the Ferrari FF only sold 500 units over 3 or 5 years or something? It's a Ferrari.
That's no Tesla.
It's a Ferrari.
I know. And it costs more, doesn't it?
One of the most... No, I think it's almost about 250. Didn't...
330... A little over 300 to 400 cars a month.
Gee, I don't see
I'd
that.
say... I'd say it's possible.
I'd say 10% of that. So,
what's your guess, Randy?
And as the person who's in charge of this podcast, what you say goes.
And as the person who is statistically more accurate with the timelines and dates and costs, just for fun speculation, 5,000
units a year.
A year?
Worldwide? I think 5,000 will be... Honestly, I think the first year will probably be closer to like 10,000 first year.
Sorry, Drew, were you talking about first or second? I was only talking about second years and after that.
I was talking on average.
Yeah.
Just like
average.
Everything.
I mean, first year I think we'll sell the most. That's what's going to throw off the average because first year I think we'll sell, I could see easily going, 10,000 easy.
Yeah, I agree.
Following year, slowing down. I can see that dropping to like 10,000, drop down to half of that, so 5,000. Following year after that, I can see that drop down to maybe 1,000, if that. And then following year after that, it's hundreds, if. It'll drop so quick. So I don't know what the average is. If you do the math of all that, I think the first year will be 10,000 easy. Minimum 10,000. Second year, half of that. Following year, 1,000. And after that, hundreds, if.
It might be one of those things that because it's such a low volume car, Tesla has an issue producing enough of them. I imagine them being outweighed by demand.
That's
the
true.
Roadster, because they're never going to build up the Roadster assembly line like they'll build up a 3 or a Y assembly line because they're planning on building a ton. So whenever they start building the Roadster, it'll probably be like mostly by hand in such a small dedicated portion of the factory that they're like, yeah, if we only can build 10 a day, we'll just live with that. And we're not really planning on scaling it. So
I can't hope that somebody puts money like that, though. They're gonna have to dedicate some, they're gonna be prioritized a little bit. Like this person's paying $250,000. Let's make sure we don't.
You can come watch.
Yeah,
you can come watch them.
You're invited. You can watch. Like that one's yours.
That one. Yeah, exactly.
I want to go
they've
to
already.
Oh yeah.
Several people have already paid $250 for it because to get Founder Series, you have to front the entire price. Yeah. So that was years ago. That was 3 years ago now, and they're still waiting.
Oh wait,
it's dessert.
How would you feel as one of those people? Yeah.
I mean,
I'd be patient. You know what you're buying. You know what you're buying.
It's refundable though, right?
Yeah.
I think it's refundable.
It's Founder Series.
I don't.
Those are
I don't know if
enthusiasts.
the Founder Series is refundable.
Refundable.
Founder Series people, they're collectors. they know what they're buying. They don't need that.
I'll reserve one right now.
They don't need the money.
That real quick, and then we'll see if we can refund it. Or just put $250,000 of your own dollars down.
Oh, okay. So interesting. I haven't gone to this page in a while. The $5,000 is fully refundable that you have to pay the moment you reserve it, but then within 10 days you have to pay an additional $45,000.
$245,000.
If you get the Founder Series. If you don't get the Founder Series, it's $45,000.
Oh, I see.
So to reserve a regular Roadster, it's a total of $50,000, $5,000 up front, $45,000 within 10 days, and then if you could do Founder Series, $250,000 up front, and I don't believe that is refundable. So I don't think anybody with that kind of money is on the fence going to change their mind later. But yeah, Tesla. I hope Tesla's reaching out to them in some way, shape, or form.
$6.
What's the difference between the two?
I think there's Founder Series are limited number, so they're only going to make 1,000.
Yeah.
But I mean, what's the difference?
And they have Elon and Franz's
I think
signature,
it's faster.
So
the Founder Series will be faster than the base Roadster. I believe that's what he said.
Okay. Has a sexy looking
that
car.
One
that should be the S.
Might come
sexy, guys. Come on.
Yeah. Wow. Maybe the Founders Series comes with like the SpaceX package and stuff. But
the fact that you don't even get to see that many photos with it, I want to see it.
I wonder where they took the videos of it. I'm looking at the website now, and they took a lot of shots on. It looks like a public road.
Yeah, somewhere in the back roads of California, Northern California.
Yeah, definitely, it's California for sure. I can tell by the grass and the trees. But I'm like, where did they film that? And no one noticed. Like, no one was like, "Hey, where are they going right now?"
They probably just closed down the whole road.
Actually, I think there's a lot. There's a lot of CGI going on here. Most vehicles do CGI. Like you'll have the body of it. Those. Yeah, I don't think this is real.
Oh, that makes me.
Looks
sad.
pretty real.
It looks too professional. Yeah, just everything.
No, Randy, that's just how good it looks. It's unbelievable. It looks so good. It looks like it's animated.
Oh, wait a minute. No, this is it.
What?
Because looking at the video, you can see the reflection of the camera. That's always the giveaway. You see a crew of people with a Steadicam.
Really?
Oh, no.
I can't see it.
Watch it from the bumper.
I see it in the bumper. Yeah.
Yeah, in the bumper.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
So it is real.
This is the real deal.
Wow.
Nice.
Oh, yeah, I saw it too.
Wow. Look. Okay.
Oh, yeah, it's real.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
1.9 seconds. How much do you think it'll cost to rent on Turo?
I don't think we're ever going to see it on Turo.
Unlimited.
No? I bet someone will buy one and try to make their money back by renting it out.
You can rent some pretty exotic cars on Turo, but you have to be like over 30, have like a squeaky clean record, and like
I'm over 30.
Let's do the math on this. If renting the Roadster on Turo costs $2,000 a day, then
no way.
They'd only have to rent it like 100 times to make their money back.
I would say
like people for music videos and stuff like that, and YouTube videos.
Yeah,
it's cheaper to rent one for a day for $2,000 than to buy one or find someone who has one that they're willing.
Really,
to loan you.
It's cheaper to rent it than to buy it for one day. That makes sense.
Yes,
I mean,
I know it's obvious. I'm just saying there's a lot of people that would probably do that. I would do it.
You'd pay
if I had the time
$2,000 to sit in a car for an afternoon. I would. Not
I mean,
do
it would. I would have a ton of cameras with me, and I'd make sure to record it a crap ton. But yeah.
Well, I'll come visit if you do that. If you pay for that, I'll come visit.
No, I wouldn't do that by myself. I'd do it, the three of us.
Well, okay.
You know,
If you ever get a Roadster and I'm not invited to it, friendship over.
I'm not getting a Roadster. I just mean,
I'm just saying, if you ever rent one and I'm not there for it, friendship over.
I'll still be your friend,
Well,
Drew, but
I
I'll just
gotta-
hold this over your head.
as long as I get to be there for Cybertruck delivery day, then yes, absolutely.
That's the conversation
That's the
you
deal.
and my wife are going to have because I am a peasant in this conversation.
Well, I'm a peasant. I'm even more so of a peasant. So
We are worms. We're not worthy.
Oh, my.
I like how every picture of the Roadster is red. They don't have any other color on the website.
Founder Series is red.
A white Roadster, right? Like in some museum.
Yeah, there was one at the shareholder meeting. They had a white Roadster
That looked
they
pretty
let people
slick
look
too.
at. Mm-hmm. But it's going to hold the record for one of the latest Elon time type vehicles.
Who cares? It's the
If it's not
Roadster.
coming out till 2022 or 2023, it's pretty far behind.
People who
I
bought
bet
it this
Tesla
early
regrets-
on, they don't need it. They don't, they're not us.
Well, no one needs this car, but yeah.
No, but more so like they're so rich. I'm
Yeah.
patient. Take your time. Whatever. Oh yeah, did I buy one of those things? Oh yeah, I did, didn't I?
Did I buy one of those?
Jalen, that was
I
just
have a
like,
friend-
Where did I leave my? Wait, is that a Roadster?
I have a friend whose dad is literally like that. I joke and call him Mr. San Diego because he's just filthy rich. And he doesn't drive a Tesla or anything. I'm like, why not? Why get the Roadster? He's like, that gimmick, that's going to die. It's all going to die. And then after Cybertruck was announced and I showed him, hey Mr. So-and-so, look at this.
San
and he's
Diego.
like, yeah, hey Mr. San Diego, look at this. He's like, it'll die out. And then recently I told my friend, hey, show this to your dad. I want him to see my portfolio. And he goes, all he says is get that out of my face. So I was like, but he's the type of guy I think like if I could talk to him, just get in his ear long enough, maybe I can get him to get a Roadster and then like, hey, what do you feel about letting me come with you to drive a ride around? I can see a few people in San Diego having those things for sure. I think I'm saying this jokingly, but I think I would see a Roadster before I see a Model Y.
Yeah, you're crazy.
Yeah.
That's
And-
not right at all, Randy.
And-
You're going to see a
and-
Model Y in like a couple weeks if I can see one and I'm not in a populated area.
No, you forget.
You're going to see one like 2 episodes from now. You're going to tell me about
La
seeing one.
Jolla is the San Diego's version of Beverly Hills, and all those suckers are trying to get rid of their Model S's and X's and other letters of sexy. And I'm over here like, I just want maybe pay $2,000 for the acceleration boost. I don't know. I don't know. I love it.
What
That's
do you
my
guys
price bracket.
think the production Roadster range will be?
600.
No.
Yes.
No, it's always going to be better than the advertised
Really?
prototype. It's always there has never been a production model with worse range than the prototype.
600 is
Ever.
a lot of miles, guys.
Yeah, but it's super small. It's smaller than a Model S with a battery pack twice the size of a Model S. I'm guessing 700.
Ooh, I was gonna say closer
Going
to
out
8.
on a- It's actually not that crazy
It already
if
went
you
up to
consider
820.
that
Or 620. I'm sorry, 620, not 820.
when they unveiled it was 621.
Oh, it was.
So that's not. It
thought
hasn't
it was just
changed since
600.
2017.
Interesting. Okay, never mind.
But that's at highway speeds. If you're doing 0 to 60 in 1 second, it'll be more like 200 miles, I'm guessing. But like 620 to 700 percentage wise is not that big of an upgrade. It's 80 miles more. So that's like 10-12% better than the prototype. And Tesla already unveils range with worse than expected, just to over deliver.
I was thinking closer to
gonna say
800.
700. Oh, that would be so cool if you could drive almost 1,000 miles on a charge. Hey, if you rented one for the day, you wouldn't even have to charge it.
Hey,
By the
they'll
time you
still-
pick it up,
they'll still make you charge it, or you have to pay a fee.
maybe.
yeah, they would.
Oh man, I feel so bad for the Roadster owners that are going to go to a Supercharger. They're not going to be able to get out of there because of everybody's just going to surround them with questions and taking pictures. If you pull that Roadster into a Supercharger, everyone's just, hey, can I sit in it? Can I try it? And
it
you're
would
just
be
going to
more
have to
popular
tint the
than
windows.
Elon just showing up at a supercharger.
Everyone's going to be taking pictures like, hey,
What's the point of these
one,
cars, though, Drew? Like, the point of the cars is to get the eyeballs and the attention. So people who buy these want to have that. I don't.
And I'm still going to show up in shorts and flip-flops, and I'm going to look like that guy.
I would love to rent a Roadster and be in like socks and sandals and walk up to it. Just like, hey, can I try? Drive it around after that. Okay, last question for you guys, yes, because this is the one I wanted to ask from the beginning.
Should have started with it.
I think Model Y has a demand, not issue, just because of the pandemic and because Tesla's ramping production right now. I think that they're going to catch up on orders very quickly, and the Model Y will be caught up with, and deliveries are going to start going down.
Yep.
Do you think that will accelerate the standard range launch? Or do you think they're still going to wait till spring of 2021, like March?
Wait.
That's not what I'm asking. I'm asking, do you think they're going to accelerate, or do you think they're going to... Oh, you're saying Tesla will wait. I thought you were telling me to wait. Okay, gotcha. Never mind. I misunderstood.
Look at you.
I misunderstood your answer.
God, not everything's about you, Drew. Except this
so
question.
You still think,
because this question's coming from you, so it's about you. I think they'll wait.
You think even if Model Y deliveries are like 1 to 2 weeks away, they're still not going to launch standard range?
I think they'll launch standard range in the fall, depending on how the world goes.
Okay.
So I don't think they're going to wait. They were ahead. We weren't supposed to be getting the Model Y until later this year, and we already are down at 1 to 2 weeks delivery.
Yeah. I just feel like if people are now getting their Y within 3 weeks of ordering, and that's in June, like what's it going to be in October? Mm-hmm. Probably even less. Because they don't have to produce Model Ys for China or Europe this time. Model 3 didn't have that. When the Model 3 came out, they had to produce all of the 3s for the entire world at Fremont. Yep. And the Y, they just have North America to think about. So
here's why they'll wait, my prediction.
Okay.
Because it doesn't hurt them to wait. And if they can, people who are on the fence, if they're like, I really want it right now, then Tesla gets a couple extra bucks. It doesn't hurt. 2, I feel like in line of keeping to a schedule or things to prioritize, expediting a standard range doesn't hurt them. It doesn't benefit them. There's no necessity to it. So if you don't have to,
there's some profit margin, right? Well, I get some money off the standard.
Well, no, I know, but the thing is that if they could just stay the course right now, and it's easier to have one assembly line just for that particular model, and then style for it for the time being. There's just because you can doesn't mean that maybe business wise they should, especially because we don't know how the world's going to pick up soon, and I don't think it's going to really. Honestly, I think. Macro scale here, I think their focus is more like getting, Giga Texas or wink wink nudge nudge Texas, right? Get that up and going. I think their focus is on we want to start working on Cybertruck and getting that going. We want the Y has been delivered. We met our promise. We met our obligation. It still counts. Now we could just stay to that schedule and let's honestly allocate resource and focus on other things that are a little bit more important to stay on schedule more than trying to get a standard range. If they can keep schedule for everything else more, I think that's a better look for Tesla than we can really push standard range right now. But I think there's a give and take that will happen with it. And right now, if they can allocate resources to getting everything else back on schedule, that should be their focus. And they don't lose anything for waiting. It's not like they're going against their word at this point. It's just, hey, we're ahead of schedule. Oh, well, for this one, but everything else is still 2021. Okay.
Fair enough. Reasonable assumption. I'm curious how I think they'll actually do something in the middle, but
as they usually do.
Yeah, for sure. Also, as recording this, I'm just now seeing the Cybertruck delivery to the museum. They've already taken pictures of it. Looks great.
Bye,
I'll
Nick.
send you guys the links.
Please
anyway,
He's freaking out.
see you next week. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye.
Bye-bye. Ba-ba-ba.